Imagine two people, Adam and David. They're the same age, they work for the same company, and they earn the exact same salary. Yet, 10 years later, one is a free man, while the other is a prisoner in a golden cage with no way out. The story begins the day they both receive their first major promotion. Adam is thrilled. The first thing he does is rent an apartment in a high-end neighborhood. He tells himself he deserves it, that he's finally somebody. To make the place look the part, he buys new furniture on credit. He feels amazing. When people see him in his new car, which he took out on a lease, they see a successful man. Adam has started playing a game called Looking Rich. On the other hand, there's David. David does something his friends and family just don't get. Even though his salary went up, he stays in his small apartment and keeps driving his old hatchback. The neighbors whisper that he must be struggling or that he's just plain cheap. But David doesn't care about their opinions. He has started playing a completely different game, the game of being rich. Here is the invisible difference. Adam's extra $500 a month was immediately swallowed up by a new lease, higher rent, and insurance premiums. Adam became a victim of the ego tax. Every morning he wakes up stressed because he knows that if he lost his job for even a month, his house of cards would collapse. He has to work harder, take more overtime, and suck up to his boss just to maintain his lifestyle. His standard of living went up, but his personal freedom dropped to zero. Meanwhile, David was sending his extra $500 away, not to the mall, but to tools that work for him. He was buying pieces of companies, pieces of real estate, pieces of gold. To the world, he looked like the poorer of the two because the wealth he was building was invisible. It was hidden in account balances and brokerage statements. 5 years later, a crisis hits, and the company starts downsizing. Adam spirals into a panic. He's selling his luxury watch at a pawn shop for a fraction of its value just to cover his car payment before they repossess it. He's willing to take any soul-crushing job just to hop back on that accelerating treadmill. His ego is shattered because his identity was built on things he never really owned. The bank owned them. David is perfectly calm during that same crisis. Because he hasn't been paying the ego tax for 5 years, he now has a cushion that allows him to go 2 full years without a paycheck. What's more, the crisis is a clearance sale for him. While Adam is selling in a panic, David is buying stocks at half price. This is the biggest trap of the modern world. The system teaches us that wealth is what we consume, that success is visible on your wrist, in your garage, or in your vacation photos. But the truth is the opposite. Wealth is what you don't see. It's the money you didn't spend on junk just to get a quick hit of dopamine. Adam's story ends in burnout. He has a big house and an expensive car, but he has zero time for his kids or his passions because every hour of his life belongs to his creditors. David's story ends in freedom. At 45, he leaves the company, not because he has to, but because he wants to. The invisible roots he spent years growing underground are now so strong, they produce enough fruit to feed his entire family. The biggest thief of your wealth isn't the government or inflation or your boss. It's your need to look better to other people than you actually are. If you want to be truly wealthy, you must have the courage to look poor to everyone else. Because freedom begins exactly where the fear of what your neighbor thinks ends.